Hello there guys, welcome back to Younes Talks Football. Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope all of you are doing well today. It's another day, it's another win at the office for Chelsea Football Club. As I said in my preview yesterday, even though I got my prediction wrong by one goal, I said 3-0, we got 2-0. Although, there are some circumstances in this game that went down today that we have to discuss because we have to be a bit honest here. Did Chelsea play well? Not really, but result is a result. We got the result, and there were some key performances in this Chelsea team that got us across the line. Whereas Aston Villa, the complete opposite. We'll get into that shortly. Before we do, I want to let you know this video is brought to you and sponsored by the OneFootball app. Link in the description for all of your footballing latest, including all of the games of today in the Premier League and La Liga. As well as that, if you are based in the UK and Ireland, don't forget you get access to Italian Serie A football. If you are based in the UK and Ireland, you get to stream on the OneFootball app one Italian Serie A game per match day, and you have access to all Italian Serie A highlights. But as well as that, today we've got the Chelsea game, obviously, some in the Premier League. We've got Liverpool, Man City later on. You can keep up to date on what's going on over there on the OneFootball app, as well as that El Clasico, which is going on right now, and it's half-time, and Real Madrid are winning 2-0. Anyway. Xavi and Barca in the mud. Once again, calma, calma. Anyway, let's get into, the better side of things. We only talk about Barca. They just keep losing nowadays. Let's go to Chelsea. Despite all of their signings, we made ours and we're living on with life. Graham Potter, it's going well. But did it go as well as it could have gone? No, but it went well enough. We got a 2-0 win. Happy days. 3 points. That's all we're concerned about right now. In terms of today, though, yes, we won 2-0. Some key performances got us across the line, though, let's be honest. Because overall, there were loads of, I would say, individual errors, unforced errors, tons of unforced errors, ridiculous amounts of unforced errors. And I don't know if the stats are going to show that, if it qualifies as an unforced error, but I'm seeing countless players just pass the wrong pass, it gets intercepted, position given away, hitting it out for a throw when they had an option. I mean, all sorts of little bits and pieces, taking too long on the ball, losing the ball, making the wrong choice. There was loads of those sort of things. But two players stood out today. Have to give tons of credit to the man of the match. Man of the match, yeah, actually, I was gonna say it's debatable. You'll see why. But Mason Mount, without question, today was incredible. So fair play to Mason Mount. Absolutely smashed it today and was one of the two that got us across the line. If it wasn't for his contribution today in the attack would have been absent. Because there was nothing going forward. And the stats tell you that themselves. If you are a stats person, I'm not really a stats person, but if you want to know how it's backed up, go and look at the amount of occasions created in today's game. Go and look at the amount of chances and shots that both teams had. Aston Villa had much more than us. But Mason Mount, in the few that we got, was clinical enough. As well as that, Kepa is the second guy. Kepa was unbelievable today. And if it wasn't for his saves, guaranteed we would have conceded about 3 or 4. Especially in that first half, we would have conceded. Some of the saves this guy was pulling out was majestic. I'm looking at it going, Kepa, is that you? Is that you, Kepa? Fantastic. Look, right now, let's be honest, Mendy in a little bit of trouble. If Kepa's playing like this, if it wasn't for that, as I've said, Aston Villa would have scored. Because Aston Villa, especially after going 1-0 down, they went 1-0 down through a very, very stupid mistake by Tyrone Mings. Guy tried to clear it, didn't clear it properly, landed straight to Mason, taps it in. I mean, when you're in that sort of position as a central defender, your aim is, if you don't have an option, is just get rid. But get rid that way, forward, not to your goalkeeper. He done just that, landed to Mason, he slots it in, it's 1-0 Chelsea, and immediately they put Aston Villa on the back foot. Chasing the game after that, Aston Villa did. Let's be real, they did. They were moving quite nicely, they were creating chances, and then it was Kepa. If it wasn't for that, everything else seemed pretty open. The midfield were quite open. The defence were not closing down quick enough. There were a couple of performances in the defence that let us down, let's be honest. Ben Chilwell today. Heavy. It's too heavy. And I don't like it. I understand the circumstance. I understand the injury he's come back from. He's not as agile and light as he was. But my goodness, he looks slow. Cucurella wasn't really on it today. Loftus-Cheek had to fill in at the right wing-back role, and at times was decent. I mean, to be honest, overall, if you're looking in terms of what side looked more unbalanced, it was probably the left-hand side. And they had Chilwell and Cucurella there, which was weird. But just heavy. But the amount of opportunity that Aston Villa had coming forward was we just weren't closing down quick enough. And everyone kind of looked like there was ball watching. The midfield defensively wasn't really assisting enough. And Kovacic for 10 minutes looked great. After that, it disappeared. You know, really, really weird. Really, really weird. That enabled Aston Villa to have some confidence and to come at us and to constantly take some shots. And the moment they did, Kepa was there to save us. So fair play to Kepa. That was an absolutely unbelievable performance. Some of the saves were world class. From 2 yards out, pulling out acrobats. I mean, gymnastics. Ridiculous. But going forward, Mason Mount was the guy. He was everywhere. He was solid. He was getting stuck in. He was moving. He was creating. He was shooting. He done it all. But he looked alone. Sterling, very indecisive today. You could see he gets into the right position. It's Sterling. He moves well. But getting his chance on goal today just looked like the same problem Chelsea had before we got Sterling and Aubameyang, which was, just shoot at the keeper with no power on it whatsoever. There was a few chances, a couple that Sterling had, and you're thinking, go for it. One in particular, ball come across, fantastic. I'm not sure if that was from Mason or if that was from Chilwell, but it came across. And you're thinking, hit it first time. Defenders are closing in on you. You've got this on a plate. Hit it. He doesn't. He takes a touch. What happens? Defender closes him down. Then he's got to try and think about it. Chance is gone, mate. Chance is gone. And that's the thing. That's the one thing with Sterling as of late where it's looked a little bit, come on, a bit quicker. Kai Havertz, similar situation. Had a chance to shoot. Was unselfish. But in that situation, you got to be a bit selfish, mate. Take the shot. Those little bits and pieces. Aubameyang was just up there, I guess, waiting for something to happen. Nothing really happened. But Mason was there to compensate. And fair play to him. We got a free kick on the edge of the D. And he smashes this to perfection. Hits it, ball, puts some topspin on the ball, but enough for the ball to go left and then hover to the right. So the keeper got fooled. Keeper seeing it go this way, oh no, it's gone that way. And he can't react quick enough. Ball has gone with too much power, hits in the middle of the net, and it's 2-0. And at that point, you know the game is done. The game is done. And it makes me very happy that, yes, we got the win. But some of the passes, some of the link-ups that we weren't really seeing, it seemed we did tend to fall back at times, especially in that second half to Chelsea of old, where we take a bit too long on the ball, we tend to go backwards, we're not really thinking forwards. The only one that I could see really darting forwards was probably Mason Mount. You know, Sterling at times, the wing-backs, yes, looking forward, but apart from that, we come central. When it's not trying to go forward, it's central to go backwards and start again. And that's something we have to get rid of. We got to get rid of that habit. I notice at times it's necessary because at times it's the only option that player has. Cool. But when you have options, look up and understand who's next to you. Today, there were moments where there were players, especially in the middle, that weren't being careful or weren't paying attention to the options that they actually had around them, and they just for safety go back. No, pay attention to who is in front of you and know where they are. That separates the great players from the good players, or the great players from just the average players. We have to do more of that. Today, it just seemed like there was a little bit of hesitation in the way that we played. Understandably, we have to give a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because injuries. Reece James, for example, cool. Understand that maybe it's a little bit more imbalanced, especially having to play a Loftus-Cheek at right wing back, you know, even though he can do it to an extent. But this is one of the issues that I spoke about yesterday. How are we going to solve this issue going forward now that Reece James is out for 2 months? You know, it's something that we have to resolve. So look, I'm happy we got the win. I'm happy that, you know, the players that had to step up today did. Overall, I want to see us play better. But a win's a win, and I'm happy with it. And fair play to Mason Mount, and fair play to Kepa. And a couple of the other lads out there, you know, same old guys. You know, you look at Thiago Silva, for example. Thiago Silva gets stuck in. He can't do it all himself. Another thing that it reminds me of today is to mention about how I don't want to say poor. It wasn't poor, but in the air, we looked a little weak. Aston Villa, every time they were getting balls into the box, and the only man that you could see really going for it was Thiago Silva. Everyone else was kind of just like, and then losing that first ball, sometimes losing that second ball. It's important to get those under control, because if not, your opponent is going to take advantage of that situation, which Aston Villa did, but had it not been for Kepa, again, we would have conceded. So this is the thing. Little bits and pieces. Hopefully Graham Potter can address them. Hopefully we can move forward, just like we did in a couple of games that we played recently, and we looked good. We looked very direct. We looked very forward. We were clinical. We want to see more of that. But overall, I'm happy that today we got the win. Happy days. It is what it is. We won, and that's all I'm bothered about right now. So we move on to the next one, and we'll see what happens. We got Brentford next, if I'm not mistaken, and then there's Manchester United on the weekend. Now, as it stands, if I'm not mistaken, actually, let me check this for you now. Real Madrid have just kicked off again. It's 2-0. Arsenal about to win 1-0 away at Leeds, so that's not good, but again, whatever. Man United drew 0-0 with Newcastle, and Southampton 1-1 with West Ham. See what happens with Liverpool, Man City, but Man United drawing 0-0 at Newcastle, still continuing that dodgy form. Hopefully we take advantage of that next weekend. We'll see what happens against Brentford. I'll give you all my thoughts before then. I'll see you tomorrow for a brand new video. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below on everything that went down today. Are you happy, unhappy? Let me know, and I'll see you then. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you all so much for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you are new. Hit the notification button to be notified once I've uploaded. Smash like button if you've enjoyed this. I'll see you tomorrow, people. In a bit. Take care and peace.